We welcome you back into the Pilot Flying J South Atlantic Conference Championship Sunday. Tusculum defeats the Lincoln Memorial University Rail Splitters. LMU making the program's second appearance, but in the conference tournament, the first 8 seed to advance to this championship game. Very familiar person sitting right here. This is Devan Carter. I know it's disappointing. You come in here with a totally different mindset. You're riding a high. You've won 3 straight. Let's go back to when you lost against Carson Newman.
Yeah.
That's devastating when you go down there and you take that loss. How did your team respond after that loss to end the regular season?
Man, I tell you, they responded the same way they have all year. I mean, just a gritty, tough bunch. You know, a couple weeks ago, man, we thought we were going to shut down the year. You know, we've lost 3 starters this year.
Yep.
We've had injuries. We've had freak injuries. We've had COVID issues. We've had everything. And yet I just told our kids, man, in the midst of a pandemic, they found a way to make history.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's one of those things, man, where you, when you come into a new place, a culture is already set, but then you've got to make that culture your own. And so that's been a long process, you know, for us. But, man, the kids that we had that just stayed the course with it, man, have been great. You know, like our starters, our 5 starters, all of them had career highs this year, you know. And so, you know, I'm really looking forward to, you know, our program as we build it, man. I mean, last night we had one of the best guards in the country commit to us last night. And so it's just one of those things, man, where we're putting a lot of positives together. Even today, I thought we had some positives and showed some growth, fighting back from a deficit, you know, and then, you know, obviously some things didn't go our way. But really proud of my kids, man, really proud of how they battled and how they handled adversity. And I told them, man, any other group or a softer group wouldn't be in this situation because after we lost by 39 or 49 to Carson Newman, most teams would have folded. And we found a way to come back a week later and get a win. And so it was just one of those things, man, where, you know, I'm really proud of their effort and their grit.
I got to notice a thing or two about recruiting guards as well. He's done pretty good at that as well. But then you took care of business against Coker, did what you had to do, the 8 seed versus the 9 seed there at home, and then you go on the road to Holt Fieldhouse. Was it a totally different environment, or did you guys feel as if your group was ready for the moment?
Yeah, I felt like, you know, the night that we went down there and got, you know, blown out, it was more so us than them, you know. And so we've been preaching this here. It's part of our process of growth. Details matter. And so, you know, I told our kids, man, like when we went back and watched the film, that, you know, we lacked on a lot of details, and that's why, you know, we took the butt whooping that we did. And so we fixed a lot of those details. We were able to come back and just had a gritty, tough performance, man. Even when adversity hit, we never folded. You know, our huddles were tight-knit, and it was just one of those things, man, where I felt like going into the game, I felt pretty good about it.
Your history then taking you to the Electric City at Anderson hasn't always been positive. But, you know, JB has some great teams down there, and you're able to get that victory. I mean, to me at that moment, as I'm looking back at Devan Carter's career, I'm thinking, that's the best win of your career type thing, you know. But you knocked him off in the tournament last year, and then in this one in a different setting. How proud of you were your group to go down there and take off? They're huge, and they're so big.
Absolutely.
And to get that victory, to get into this championship game, obviously groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, you know, once again, man, it's part of our process, man. Like, our process is built on toughness, you know, like it's built on toughness. And that's usually the last piece of it to take full circle. You know, like, you know, you look at even the time here, man, I mean, it was, you know, 6 wins and then 16, then 20 and 24. It was a process. But when you finally did it, toughness was the culprit, you know. And so I think our process here is a little bit faster, though, just because and sped up a little bit more, just because we got some tough kids in the program. We've got some kids that compete, and I felt like when we went to Anderson, we just flat out competed. You know, they were bigger, they were stronger, you know, they were longer, but we found a way to get that 50-50 ball. We found a way to get that box out, and we found a way to handle pressure and take care of the ball. And I thought that was the difference in the ball game. We had made some great plays, some clutch plays, but I felt like our toughness is what carried us.
Into this championship game as the first ever 8 seed, then here on the road in Pioneer Arena, you know, a tough place for the visiting teams to come in and play, and they had it going here today. You got off to that good start. Jordan Manning was unstoppable in that first half, and things were going, but then they, just right there at the end of that first half, started the run, continued it into the second half, but then you caught fire. Was there anything that you were doing differently to be able to get right back into the game?
You know, I just felt like, you know, in the second half, I felt like we missed some reads at the start of the second half. But, I just felt like we got off to a great start. And, once again, man, I told the girls, man, it's part of our process, like closing out games. Closing out halves. The girls in our locker room right now have pretty much, for their career, they have losing records, And so this was the first time they've ever played for a championship. This was the first time they've been in a game of this magnitude. On the road, I think we had 6 fans, going against probably 500 or whatever. But, it's one of those things where we had some opportunities that we missed, man, and didn't take advantage of. And so, going against a team like this, I mean, everybody that played in this game tonight was here last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We were there. And so, they've been there before. They made just more plays than us down the stretch. I mean, it's kind of bittersweet, man, but it's sweet because I'm looking at Jayla and Maddie, and I just remember, seeing those kids, and all I heard was Jayla's voice and Maddie yelling, and I'm like, who are these kids talking in the middle of this game? Yeah. But to see that they have had one of the best careers, their time here, with me for 3, and then with Coach Price for 1, they've had one of the best careers in Tusculum history, and that makes me feel great, man. My dad always said you leave things better than where you found it.
Right.
And, to see those girls have that success this year is absolutely huge, man. And so they closed like a champion. I mean, that third quarter, they made it tough for us to get off shots. They made it tough for us to get to the hole. They made life difficult for us. And so, I told my kids I was proud of them. We're going to be back, man. I mean, at the end of the day, this is part of our process, but we're going to be back, and we're going to be playing in these games for a long time.
A Pioneer team that closed it out, again, behind Maddie Sutton and Jayla Armwine. Turning play in this game was a back-to-back 3 set. Difficult to take. Proud of the way your team handled that, because I really felt like even from there, and they still continued to battle. So I think you got to take a lot of weight from even this championship in a loss to be very proud of what you got going forward.
For sure. Definitely proud. I mean, nobody expected us to be here except the people in our locker room, and they just competed. Our process is different, man. I tell people, our program's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And so the kids that we have in there now, I think they've fully embraced our process, man. They've worked, and that's why they're in the situation they are today. That's why they came and competed for a championship today. Up at the half, you're 1 half away, and so I told them that it's supposed to hurt because, next year, when they're in that same situation, they're going to understand, man, I don't want that hurt again. And so I'm looking forward to just going into recruiting now, being able to go and get more players in, get more bodies in, man, and continue to compete in the SAC, man. The coaches here do a great job, in our league of coaching the game. So you got to be on your P's and Q's, but tough one. Extremely proud of my kids, though, man. Both of them, both sets of kids. Proud of what they were able to accomplish, man.
I was joking with Maddie. I'll just share this with you. Knew that she was going to get the best from you here today, but also believe that you were the one that got the best out of her to develop her to what she's doing and what Coach Price has then been able to get out of her extra here this season. You're always gracious to come join us and talk with us. Unfortunate today for you, but really proud of what you've done there at the program at Lincoln Memorial.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I tell people, man, the thing about here, man, is that here is just, it's home. It's a big family. Miss Deb gave me a hug when I walked in. Bobby, like my aunts, man. Yeah. And I appreciate you guys, everything that you've done for me in my career as well. And, hey, hopefully this ain't the last time we see each other, brother.
He's Devan Carter. It will not be the last time, that's for sure. The Pioneers knock off Lincoln Memorial here in the Pilot Flying J South Atlantic Conference Championship game. For Devan Carter, I'm Brian Staten for SAC Live.